Welcome to the Tweet Be Happy Live that comes to you every other Tuesday. And if you'll notice, I have a different background tonight. I am in Wallace, North Carolina with my nephew, his wife, and my grandniece, who's 14 months old. So when I told them that I needed to do, or I wanted to do a live tonight, Brittany, who is Jeremy's wife, says, we have a stand that you can use for your live. So I have a stand, I've got a beautiful background, and the temperatures here in North Carolina are absolutely amazing. And I think I forgot to introduce myself. This is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. I like to come live to you every other week about 8 o'clock. And I'm kind of time zone challenged, so I might be an hour early in the central zone. But and I have a little fan running off to my right. That's why my hair's kind of flying around. The temperatures here are absolutely amazing. But like I started to say, I flew into Raleigh, North Carolina, to go to the annual OnStage that Stampin' Up! Puts on every year. It is an amazing event that demonstrators can go to, and I will be showing you what we did during our noon hours for our make and takes. I will also show you the new in colors. I'm sure some of you are interested in seeing those. And then I'm going to show you what we stamped like for an after hours on Friday night. We could select a stamp. I'll be showing you the cards that I made there. And then if we have enough time, I will show you some swaps that I got from other demonstrators. It is a great way to meet other demonstrators from basically all over the globe. You walk up to somebody and you say, are you swapping? And they'll say yes. So then you'll pull out your card that you brought to Raleigh and you'll exchange it with their card. So I came home with about 100 new ideas. So those are going to be, I'm just going to share some of them tonight with you. I won't take time to do them all. But if you are on this page, the Tweet Be Happy page, you will or have seen some cards that I've already posted from the different swaps. So I am going to turn this camera down. Close your eyes. I'm working with a new stand. Hopefully it goes well. I think it will, because now I've told you it may not go well, so hopefully that jinxed it to go well. So, but I also want you to, in the meantime, share and like and comment on this video. So I'm going to be turning the camera now, and I'm going to move my stand down just a little bit, and then I'm going to rotate it down to my work surface. Hey, what do you think of this beautiful work surface? Looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I'm just can't believe that Brittany had a stand, maybe Jeremy's stand. They said that they use this stand when they go camping and hiking to take pictures of their family out in the woods, because oftentimes there isn't anybody else around to take their picture. So So this, what I'm showing you right now, off to my left, is the new annual catalog. And that will go live May 6th, I believe. But today, those of you on my team, today you could do a pre-order and you could select some of the items from the catalog. Not all of the items are in yet, but because keep in mind, not only are they, setting up their line for the new annual catalog, but they also have the old annual catalog until May 5th, and then they have the mini catalog until May 5th too. So we actually have 2 catalogs right now that you can choose from, plus a scrapbooking brochure. So So during the noon hours, we had what they called a make and take. And the stamp set that we used was this layered thoughts. And I want to point out that this is a million sales achiever, Barb Brindhall. This is her stamp set. When you have $1 million in sales, you get to create your own stamp set. So this is one that she's done that's large letters and no images. Sometimes it's nice to just need a big thank you on a card, or maybe thinking of you, or love or happy birthday. Also, besides the stamp set, we got some of the new 12 by 12 white willow cardstock, and that's what we used as our card basis. We also got this ephemera pack, greetings for all, mix and match. We got that. In addition, we got the celebration, expressions, memories, and more card pack. When we signed up for, OnStage, they told us to bring some essentials, like bring your favorite adhesive, bring your paper trimmer, and bring a scissors and a couple of blocks. So the reason we had to bring those is because we would go get our box lunch, and after we ate our lunch, we would sit around for about an hour and a half, and we could stamp whatever we wanted to stamp. But I tell you what, we didn't really get a lot of stamping done because we would rather talk. So one of the cards that I made was this one right here. You can see that it is on, I think, now that I think about it, I think this was one of the pre card and envelope kits that you can purchase. It was a larger size. And then, so what we did was, we did a lot of tearing. That's what their examples showed. So what you would do is you would take one of these 4x6s out of here, and you would put that on first as your second layer, and then you would take another 4x6 and then tear it diagonally. These are, the pieces that are left over after I tore it, so I can use those pieces in another card. And then you would stamp in Memento ink. They provided those ink pads. They had a few supplies like adhesives, glue dots, Memento ink, maybe a black marker on the table that we could also use. So what do you think of that? Sometimes it's nice just to have a big happy birthday. Very nice card. If you have been following me, I did do a little note card, which is a 3x4 card, and I said thank you on that one, and I left it for the maid service at the hotel. I appreciated them making up our room every day, but you know what I appreciated the most? The fact that one day I left a note for more coffee, and guess what? By the time we come back that night, I had more coffee in my room. I really appreciated their tidiness and service. The next thing I would like to show you is, I won't show you the in colors yet. I'm going to make you wait for that. So the next thing I wanted to show you is the Friday night was what they called an after hours event. Now this was totally optional. You had to pay additional to do this part of the, on-stage event. If you did not go to this, I suppose you'd go out and eat or do something like that. But I tell you what, I would rather go someplace and stamp. Plus, besides that, we got a choice of a couple of stamp sets, and I chose the Turtley Awesome stamp set. I have 3 grandsons. We are constantly outside, when the weather's nice in Iowa, and sometimes we find bugs, we find turtles, we find frogs, and I thought this would be very appropriate for them. We don't have any birthdays in the summer, but we do have a September birthday. So this card could be used for maybe a September birthday or a summer birthday. It says, hope your birthday is totally awesome. So look at those little turtles. There's one that's laying on his shell, another one that's standing up, and another one that is standing in a different position. But their little hands, you can put a balloon in it, you could put a party hat on it, you could even put an ice cream or a flower in their hand. So won't that be fun? In addition to that, I also got the dies that come along with this. There is a banjo in here with a banjo handle that you could die cut and you could put into one of those turtles' hands that are open. A couple of cards that I did end up making a couple of cards that night. This is the first one I made. It is very, very simple card. And what I did was I followed the examples in this book. And I will probably do this at a couple of my classes. I will take some ideas out of this book. There's some scrapbooking layouts in here too. But anyway, the first card I made is this. It's okay to take it slow. How often do you need to send a card to somebody to let them know it's okay to relax? It's okay to be slow from your illness, or maybe be a cute retirement one too. Now, I did not think of it that night because the picture didn't have a card in it. But wouldn't this be cute to maybe put in the turtle's hand, the little flower, or even the little balloon if it was for a retirement party? So that was the first card that I did. The second card was this one right here, which is Here for You Always. Now, we also had at the after hours, they did give us some different colored cardstock, and then we used the granny apple green and then the garden green, so for the turtles. There was another stamp set that was flowers that you could purchase, and I know at my table, there was probably 8 at our table. 8 other demos chose the flower one. I can't think of what it was, but I could sure look in this book and tell you what it was. It was the stamp set called Impressions of Bloom. And this is another flowered stamp set, but there are some amazing die cuts that go with that. So I still think I chose the right one. But anyway, there was blends that we could color the turtle in with, and then also we colored the flower in. And when I went to stamp this second layer, I couldn't figure out where that stamp set was, because there was not a stamp set in the Turtlely Awesome that was multiple flowers. Well, here what we did was you stamped the single flower many different times. So there's always many ways to use a stamp. So then there was, they had the dimensionals, so you put dimensionals underneath the turtle, and then you cut the verse out that's Here for You Always. Another card that I was not able to complete because I don't know where the time went, but anyway, it's this card right here. And I thought I would, since I can't stamp with you tonight because I don't have any inks, but I do have adhesive. And so what we're going to do is we are going to finish putting this card together. And what we did was in this, recipe book that we had for the after hours, this is the card that we were to be working on. So you took the new In Colors Strawberry Slush, that was your base, and then you stamped the turtles on the white willow, and then you cut 2 diagonal cuts, okay? And then I'm going to reach back behind here and get my adhesive. And I don't know what happened to my adhesive when I was at OnStage, but it was being kind of difficult. So let's hope it works good tonight. But anyway, what I would do is I would adhere this turtle piece. Yeah, for some reason, it's not wanting to advance forward nicely. So I don't know what's going on. Sometimes that happens. So in following the sample then, you would put this piece right here. Okay, it's kind of like a puzzle. I think this would be a fun project for some youths to do. Create a puzzle and then they can put it together for you. So there's 4 pieces here. I'm hoping you can see this well. It looks like all you can see is my hand. I apologize. So this is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa. In case you're just joining us late, I see there's 5 people watching me. Thank you. Be sure to like and share this video. It helps my business grow. Plus, it also lets me know who's watching. So this last piece of this puzzle is gonna now be adhered right here. And isn't that just cute? Yeah. So what the directions actually told us to cut the diagonals first. Well, at our table, we decided it was better to stamp the turtles first and then do the diagonal cuts. And then we always need a sentiment on a card, don't we? So let's go ahead and run some tape. Run some tape on this garden green. And you could put it like right across there. Here for you always, okay? Then the other here for you always, they wanted us to cut it with a scissors. So let me reach back here and get my scissors. And they recommend that you cut it at an angle before the word always, okay? Just another different thing that you can do when you're stamping. It's your card, it's your way. So here for you is it's the same sentiment, obviously. Here for you always, and if they didn't understand it the first time, they're sure going to get it the second time, aren't they? So here for you always. So here is that card right there. Also, in this suite of Totally Awesome comes some gems, and they're the 20, 25, 27 in color flat pearls. Aren't they beautiful? So then what we would do is open this up. If I can find the opening, here it is. Off camera, I can do it. And with your take your pick tool, you'll be able to pick off the gems and place them on the card. And right now, I am not finding here it is. Here's my take your pick tool. If there's anything that I can encourage you that you must have, is a take your pick tool. It's something like this. If you're like me and you don't have fingernails, you need to have something that you can grab these little gems with. So what I'm doing here is I am going to pick the green color, or it looks to me like it's green, but actually it's either I could use the new in color, it's Cloud Cover, or I could use the Secret Sea. The Secret Sea is the black color and the Cloud Cover is the gray. But because I think it's going to look really nice with the green, I am going to put that on this card. Oh, not on the plastic. I want it on the card. So here we go. These gems, you just when you do the gems, you put them on in odd numbers. So there's the gems, you guys, that's on our card. So I started this card in Raleigh last, I guess it was a couple of Friday nights ago now, and we just finished it now live with you online. What do you think of those turtles? This is from the Turtly Awesome stamp set. So we're going to move right along now, and what I'm going to do is, I know you've been waiting to see the new in colors. Well, here they are, ready or not. We had what they called a parade of products during our, I guess it was after a couple of sessions. I'm not sure when it was right now. But what we got to do was we walked around and we could play with some of the new in colors. The new in colors are Cloud Cover, Darling Duckling, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush. That is a returning color. I have only been a demonstrator for 7 years, so I do not have that stamp pad, but those that do, they say it's the same. So, and then the fifth new in color was Timid Tiger. All of these colors are beautiful. When I first saw them, I went, oh, okay. I really like the 24 through 26 in colors that are going to be, oh, I said that wrong. The 23 through 25 in colors that are going to be retiring in May. I really like those colors. So I'm going to miss those, but you know, as with anything else, something you lose, there's always a new favorite that comes out. So in case you're wondering what this is the card stock, and then you could stamp with the inks on a stamp set so you could see, you know, how close to the color it was. Do you notice that the Cloud Cover one is missing? That's because Stampin' Up! Was not happy with the quality of that color. They felt it was darker. When it dried, when they stamped it, it originally looked okay. But when it dried, it did not pass their inspection. So they pulled that, and it's gone back to the manufacturer. Then here at the bottom, these are with the markers. That it's not the blends, it's the markers. So let me know, what do you think of the new 2025, 2027 in colors? Do you like them? I like them more all the time. Now, when we went to the after hours portion of on stage, we did get a variety pack of these new colors. So I do have the new in colors. So at the next stamp class, you'll be able to see the colors and maybe do a project or two with them. In addition, another thing that we had the honor of seeing was the two-tone papers. Now, this is something brand new that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with, and it is just like it says, two tones. This is actually a paper that actually could be 3 colors, because what they've done is they have, I don't think they called it painting, but they've done a dark color on one side and a light color on the other side, and therefore the inside of the paper is white. I wish I could remember what they called that process, but anyway, they were showing us how to tear it. That was a technique. Two-tone cardstock exercise that we did. You could always crumple up the cardstock. That seems like texture is a big thing right now. You could fold it like this on a card and show the dark and the light. Something that I have never done with paper is sand it with a sanding block. Who has done that? It then brings, do you see the white comes through after you use the sanding block? And it's a normal sanding block that you are using. So also at OnStage, they have prize Patrol. And I won this stamp set, which is Peaceful View. For those of you that follow me, you probably know that I like to sit on my patio in the mornings, have coffee, or even in the afternoons, have a glass of wine or whatever. Won't this be lovely to stamp a sunset or a sunrise with this? And this is a large stamp, so it's one stamp. So if you just want to do the fence, you would just ink up the fence. If you just want to do the trees, you would ink up the trees. So this is Prize Patrol that Stampin' Up! Gave to us. Stampin' Up! Is very generous. Okay, the final thing I promised to do was to show you some swap cards, and I'll just show you a few because it's almost 8:30. I appreciate your time that you have spent with me tonight. This is Darla Tweeten, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Iowa, and I hold in-person classes in my home the third Friday of every week. If you check my page, Tweet Be Happy, under events, you'll see my events, and I highly encourage you to RSVP to any event that you might want to go to. That gives me time to prepare card kits and to make sure that everybody gets a card kit. There is limited seating, so if you go to look at the events and it's going to work for you, go ahead and RSVP. I appreciate that very much. Okay, so this is one of the swap cards that I got, and when you swap cards, you're supposed to put like a business card or something like that in there. Remember, I told you it's one of the best ways to meet other demonstrators. Well, this gal, Lavon, is from Bozeman, Montana. So that card is from Montana. Isn't that beautiful? This is probably one of my prettiest swaps that I got, just simply because it's a bird. I love birds. And this is from Linda, and she lives in Pekin, Illinois. So I have kept these in the plastic for right now because I am not home yet, and I want to preserve them. So if it's a fun fold or something like that, I'm not going to be able to show you that tonight. Now this card comes from Pekin, Illinois too. So I wonder if those are from the same lady. Nope. One is from Maryland from Pekin, Illinois, and the other one is from Linda Harmon. Huh, I wonder if they know each other. I'm sure they do. Here's another one, another texture card. This is an online exclusive, and these are actual photographs that they've made the papers from. So let's see. This is from Tammy DeWitt, and it doesn't say what town she is from, but it has her name and it has her email address. Isn't this one beautiful for us? If you need a sympathy card, absolutely beautiful. This card is from Barbara, and she's in Waterloo, Illinois. Oh my gosh, there's a Waterloo, Iowa. I did not know there was a Waterloo, Illinois. But this card has many layers on it. I hope you can see the embossing folder that is on the crumb cake. Is that crumb cake? That lighter color there? It might be beige too. But anyway, then she's put other layers on it. So it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 6 layers on this card. But it is flat. It would not be hard to mail that card at all. Sometimes our cards get too thick when we have lots of layers. Here's another one that says, "You are preciously the best." Excuse me, "You are seriously the best." I can't read tonight. And again, there's a little bit of a glare on there, but that's because I have them in these clear envelopes and I want them to stay protected. This is another one. There is a herb stamp set. Makes me think of my nephew here that I'm staying with. He has the biggest garden I've ever seen, and he's starting an herb garden. And the other day, we weeded his mint. There was 4 different kinds of mint: chocolate, strawberry, spearmint, maybe wintergreen. I'm not sure. But anyway, this card was made by Sandra, and she's from Dallas, Georgia. Now, isn't that fun to know where these cards come from? Just a few more I'm going to show you. I love this stamp set here. Before I showed it to you, I could rattle off the name of the stamp set. I love these dies. They're very beautiful. This one is from Sandy, and she's from Brunswick, Ohio. So, a couple of more that I wanted to show you were this seashell one. Who likes to go to the seaside? Who likes to go to the ocean? Isn't this just a beautiful card with all those die cuts and then the dry embossing folder? Now, did you ever think of doing a card, a non-shaped traditional card? Look at this gal did. This one is from Jackie, and she is from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Wow. Isn't that cute? Want just a couple more of the lobster and the crab. This one here, this is another neat idea, how they dry emboss the whole card layer. So when you open it up, you get to see the little bubbles, because remember, this is a lobster and a crab in the water. Isn't that cute? And then she's got black as the second layer. And this one is from Melissa Donaldson. So, and this one is from Melissa Donaldson too. I don't know how I got two of them. I think I do remember her now. It was towards the end. We were ready to start the general session. And she said, are you swapping? I said, yes, I am. And she said, I want both of your cards. So I said, okay, I like your cards. So we swapped two cards just at the last minute. So there again, look at this beautiful wave-like embossing folder that is, real similar to the other one I just showed you. And this is called something, I can't think of what that red's called right now. But anyway, those are just a few of my swap cards that I got. Like I told you, I probably got 100 ideas. Now, what do I do after I'm done with the ideas? After I no longer need the cards for ideas, I'm going to turn you back up to me now. And I probably shouldn't do that because I've gotten a little warm as I've been talking here. I'm in a corner here, and it's gotten warm. Can you see my rosy cheeks? Sorry about that. But anyway, what I do after these cards, the stamp sets are no longer, like, they become retired, and so we can no longer show them, because the worst thing we can do is show somebody a card and they say, I want everything to make that card, and I have to say, you can't get it anymore. So what I do with those swaps after I get done is I will send them to people. I will use them and then share them with other people. So Marla Snail, welcome tonight. How are you? I sure miss seeing you. Hope Iowa is treating you well. Good, Marlis. Thank you for watching. So Marlis, I'm almost done. I think I came on a little early. Like I told them, I'm a little time zone challenged. I normally come on at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, but I'm in North Carolina right now, so I think I should have waited till 9 o'clock here to do it. And we've been going to bed early because we've just been doing lots of fun things, going places, going on walks, and being on vacation's kind of hard, you guys, but it's good. So I'm gonna sign off now, and if you have any special requests or anything, put them in the comments. If you would like to know how to make a card that I've shown you, don't be afraid to email me at tweetbehappy@gmail.com or private message me, and I'll get back to you. So for right now, I'm signing off from North Carolina, and I hope you all have a nice evening. God bless.